How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Master Beer Reviews. Back with yet another review. A little bit of porter time. A little bit of different porter time. In the form of Boulevard Brewing's Flora, Obscura dry hopped porter. Yeah. How many dry hop porters do you see out there? Not that many. Now, if we kind of open up the kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Borders of what is a dry hopped porter in the same realm as a dark IPA or Cascadian dark ale. I don't know. But we're going to drink it. We're going to tell you what we think of it. Yeah. So as far as what it says in this bottle, Boulevard Brewing Company. It was bottled on July 11th, 2008. No. Oh, Best By July 11th, 2018. It was bottled in the future. No, it says Boulevard Brewing, Flora Obscura Dry Hopped Porter. No story time on here. Okay. They actually give you notes with this. Boulevard sent this off to me. They give you a whole bunch of written notes on it and things like that when they send out these kind of press packs and stuff like that. And I didn't read it. Why? Because I don't want to know anything about it. So, yeah, let's dive in. Label-wise is cool. I actually like Boulevard's labels. I always have, so yeah, kind of reminds me, I don't know, something between like a Scotch barrel or something else, I don't know. So let's see what we have. So we're talking about a dry hopped porter. Okay. It comes to mind. The whole Cascadian dark ale kind of thing comes to mind when you think about an aggressively hopped. That's what we're talking about here. An aggressively hard hopped dark beer. But it can be, it's individualistic in that sense. It can be just a dry hop porter, and I'm kind of curious to see where this one lands, at least for me. Gravity-defying creaminess. Weird, crazy, neurotic style kind of bubbling going through. A little dirty glass coffee, so that might have something to do with it. Give it a nice little twirl. And she be dark. You know, it's 5.8% alcohol by volume. Not the biggest beer in the history of mankind, but she actually looks hefty. It looks bigger than it looks would lead you to believe. See if we can get a nose on her. Oh my god, yeah, that's hopped. That's aggressively hopped. Okay. I mean, that head's gigantic, so you wouldn't expect me to pull this big nose off of it. I'm getting this nice, green, fresh hoppiness off this sucker. Wow. Yeah, I mean, there's a sweet kind of candied sugar, Belgian candied sugar, not even more like brown sugar kind of vibe somewhere floating around in there, underneath all that. But on top of it, there's nice, fresh, bright green kind of hoppiness to it. So yeah, it's kind of fun to get that kind of, that darker kind of molasses-laden kind of brown sugary kind of sweetness with that big hop presence, that green hop presence on top of it is making my brain kind of fire all its neurons and on electrons and things. And I know there's no, well, there's electrons, but you know what I'm talking about. Kind of my brain go a couple different directions because it's not something you typically get in the same beer. So yeah, that's how I'm leaning. I'm leaning on like a brown sugar molasses kind of mixture thing, and then that nice kind of green hop on top of it. So it smells super fucking interesting. I gotta dive in. Cheers. Okay. Weird. Let's put it that way. Weird. First thing, it comes off thin. It definitely does come off as that nice kind of creamy porter thing that we all kind of covet, or people at least kind of covet porters. Comes off a bit thin. Comes off a bit more kind of like brown ale like. That nice kind of molasses brown sugary thing, really not all that present in the taste. It's kind of just dropped out, a little bit of remnants underneath it. There's that green hoppiness in there, okay, and that's bittering. And while it's big and noticeable in the nose itself, in the mouth there's this kind of ashy bittering, astringency that marries with that green hoppiness to where it kind of kicks it down a notch, makes it not as singular, not as vibrant. It's not an offensive kind of ashiness. It's just, or a bitter astringency. It's just noticeable. noticeable enough and big enough to where it kind of pushes back that green hoppiness. And that's pretty much it. You know, there's a maltiness there. There's that sweet kind of sugary thing on top of the maltiness. But the thinness, it kind of lets you down a little bit when it comes to that aspect of things. Throw that kind of ashiness in, that kind of bitter astringency thing, which I believe is coming from the malt. It kind of just makes those hops not pop and show the way they should. It ends up making the beer a bit more like a kind of thinner, kind of watered down kind of Cascadian dark ale. So it's more what I'm not going to say didn't want it to be, but it ended up being what I was afraid it would come to be, or whatever you want to say. What am I trying to say here, words wise? The nose let me believe it was going to be this interesting kind of marriage of maltiness and hoppiness, in the vein of like a Kane did a barley wine with tropical hops called Vengeful Heart. It had this big, nice, rich English barley wine style. It had these really floral, juicy kind of tropical hops. And I thought we were coming down the same road with this. The nose led me to believe that. I was hoping that going in. The nose led me to kind of be like, okay, here we go. And then I ended up just getting kind of more of a bittering, kind of Cascadian dark ale-ish kind of beer. Is it a bad thing? No. It just doesn't really turn me on all that much, because it's not necessarily a style I covet all that much. So if that's your kind of jam, then you might be in this more than I am. So let's cut to that chase. Is it one of the better porters I've had as of late? No, it just doesn't really work all that well for me. Value and availability, it's Boulevard. I'm assuming if you're in Boulevard's footprint, you're going to see it, and their price point is usually pretty top-notch as far as cost and availability and all that stuff. And leave you with, if you like what we like. It's if you like Cascadian Dark Ales. Basically, that's where this one kind of lands. If you like the black IPA and the kind of hop-forward, kind of darker beers, it's going to do you right. Other than that, well, the nose is super cool and it's fun to play with if you're into something that is going to be what the nose gives you, which is a bit more greenness and that kind of sweet sugariness, then you're probably going to be left a little bit wanting. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you didn't, anywhere in between, down there, Words and Stuff and Things. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Untapped, Massive Beers, all four of those places if you want to check me out. Anywhere else in the social medias. BeerMassif.com, so MASSIF. Go check that out for podcasts and all kinds of other stuff. Unrelated and semi-related and semi-intertwined with what I do here on YouTube, but a lot more kind of audio-based stuff, brewer interviews, opinion pieces, roundtable, stuff like that. Go check it out and find it on all your podcast stuff too, your iTunes and Stitcher and Google Play and all that stuff. And there you go. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a nice hop-forward porter right now, and hope to see you next time. Cheers.